Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapper Chronicles. We're coming back at you with something a little bit more, I guess, obscure. It's a ratchet, uh, like a traditional style ratchet, but something off, let's say, the back wall of ratchetdom, so to speak. Uh, but before we jump into this, if you find this type of tool ratchet content at all interesting or helpful, could you give me a like and also hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. Okay, here we have a ratchet. It's from a company called SV Tool Company and has patent pending, and it says made in the USA. The model on this is Screwball SB2000 Ratchetpack, and this company was known for, like, in the 70s. I think they first came out with like an ice scraper. You know those wedge type ice scrapers that are kind of plexiglass on the scraping part and kind of like an ice cream cone wedge handle, flat handle that you scrape with. I think, I'm not sure, but I think they might have originated that, and it was called the icebreaker, which was, I guess, their first popular sort of tool. There's an interesting article online on the company and its origins, and I think it was started by a guy. His last name was Smith, and he was one of those guys in the late 60s and 70s who had ideas and had, I guess, got some money together and put together like all these kind of like kind of offbeat tools that kind of were like gimmicky and became popular. Another big tool of his, if you caught the name Screwball, was this. This is not a screwball, but something like this. It was like a ball screwdriver, a ratcheting screwdriver, and I think he hit it. He kind of hit it big with that also. That was another kind of idea, invention of his that kind of became pretty popular. These ball ratchet type screwdrivers in about the early 70s or the 70s, and but what I couldn't find was any information. Like, those other tools were kind of more popular, but there was no information really online on this and how this came to be, this ratchet. It's a pretty heavy ratchet. This is only a 1/4 inch. It's a 1/4 inch drive, and you can see how small the 1/4 inch drive there looks compared to the rest of the ratchet. It's kind of got like a 3/8 head, really, 3/8 head size, but only a 1/4 inch size anvil. I'm not sure what to make of that. It says made in the USA. Okay, I don't think that he tooled up and was able to make ratchets, so I think they probably contracted ratchets from another company. I'm not sure what company this would be. If you guys can have some idea of what company was used or was contracted to make ratchets, that would be, just drop me a line in the comments and let me know. From the look of it, maybe like Right or something like that. I'm not sure. There's no info on it, so I can't really tell you. There's a ball detent. This is a swivel head or flex head style ratchet. It flexes all the way to that position, and it flexes all the way to this position, and these are the intervals it flexes in. Has a rolled pin that holds the head on to the handle, And like I said, there's a ball, and I imagine a spring underneath this compartment here. This quarter inch ratchet is about 8 inches, so like I said, it's kind of oversized for a quarter inch, and it's pretty heavy. So that's another kind of weird thing about this. And it has the handle is also a compartment for these sockets, and the sockets don't say much except the size. This is 1/2 inch, and they say USA, so the sockets do say USA on them. So I'm imagining that they were made in the USA. By who knows, but they'll have the size and USA on them. So, but like I said, I'm not sure who made these. The sockets are held in by clips, and the clips look like they kind of just bent over here and cling on to the little edges here. They just turned over. It's just a piece of metal that holds the sockets in. Glad I found the set, because this doesn't seem like it would hold too well, and I can see these being missing and going missing pretty easy, these sockets. Okay, so let's take a look inside and see what we have. I already opened up a lip for the ring. It's a coil ring, a typical coil ring that goes around most round heads. And this is what it looks like. It's kind of a little bit thick. It's a little bit thick there. Let me push out the mechanism. These are the teeth for the ratchet. Looks pretty new. This doesn't look like it had much use. The teeth they look like they're in really good shape. It's chromed. The teeth are chromed also. I didn't count the teeth, but from the look of it, looks kind of coarse, maybe like 36 teeth or something like that. Has a cutout on this side. I guess that's the switch side of the mechanism. And the bottom is just kind of flat, pretty much. The mechanism looks typical SK style. Just one seesaw kind of pawl, and the pawl each side has 3 teeth, and it's a pretty good size pawl for a quarter inch drive. This is kind of a pawl typical of a 3/8 drive ratchet, and the size of the head also is typical of a 3/8 size. Not sure why they went with quarter inch. Maybe well, it makes sense. The sockets, because they needed small sockets to fit in the handle, so I guess that makes sense that they would go with a quarter inch drive. Here's a look at the ball detent. Looks pretty well centered. Not bad there. And to take this apart, I'm gonna have to get a magnet. See the ball detent in there? I just squeeze it down with the pawl and then twist the switch so that the ball detent is under the solid part here, and then I just grab a magnet and I pull out, and luckily this didn't shoot across the room. So, but here's the switch, here's the the plunger and the spring. It's kind of a long spring, a little bit long, and a hollow plunger, and the spring fits inside of it. Here's the switch, and it looks like a little rust there, and that's the hole that the spring and plunger sits in. Here is the pin for the pawl. Looks like a little bit thin, but for a 1/4 inch it's fine. And here is the pawl. Not bad. There's a Y here. Typically when I see a Y, in my mind, that's foreign, like Taiwan or something like that. So I can't vouch for where this was made, if it's truly US or just this pawl is maybe foreign. But from the feel of it, I think that this is mostly possibly US. Like, the mechanism looks US, the switch, and maybe they had parts that were foreign, like maybe this pawl. And a company that I always see, or kind of always see Ys on their pawls, is Stanley. And they were kind of dubious around the early 80s as to where they would say they would put on their ratchets made in USA, but it wasn't actually the truth. I think they got in trouble for that. I'm not sure. And here's a look at the pawl. Looks pretty brand new. You know, this is all allegedly. I can't prove any of it, but that's what I heard about Stanley and this period. Here's a look at the mechanism, housing. This looks pretty good. Looks decently made. Okay, to get this back together, shouldn't be too hard. Take your pawl, you line up the hole, take your pin, put it in the hole, and you take your switch, put the plunger and spring in the hole, and you put your switch here with the plunger resting against the housing, and you press the plunger in and you squeeze, and you should be good. And see if it's switching. It's switching. Now you take your mechanism and you press the pawl down a little bit and you drop it in, and you take your ring and you mash it down around, and you see if it's ratcheting. It's pretty stiff too. See if it's switching. It's pretty stiff. It might need some lubricant, but it just feels stiff, like naturally stiff. A lot of backtrack. Okay, so that's the teardown and review of this Screwball Ratchetpack SB 2000, and made by SV Tool Company, made in USA. Like I said, more than anything, this is kind of a novelty, something cool. Made in USA, a ratchet. That's kind of like kind of along the lines of what I was talking about before, the screwball screwdriver, you know, something useful. Something useful. Those aren't too bad, those ball screwdrivers, but kind of like something like not marketed towards professionals, mostly marketed probably towards, you know, like housewives or do-it-yourselfers type of people, not really like pro, not really marketed for pro use. The same here. This is cool. It's like nice to have, but as far as application, I can't really see this being like a pro tool or being used by, you know, in any capacity, professionally or anything, or even every day. Just because this, I just feel this 1/4" anvil, if you put as much torque as you have in this 8" long body, and you try to really torque something down, this is gonna snap. It's gonna snap. It's just too small for the big body of this, and this is typically around the late 70s. Ratchets were like 7.5" something like that. This is coming in at 8", and it's pretty hefty. So any like good torque on that this ratchet would be able to do on this anvil would just, like, I guess, really do a number on it. But there you go. Alright guys, that's all I got for now. Alright, till next time.